Welcome into the State of Sports podcast. We got the normal crew here tonight for a very fun debate. We got Tony Gwynn versus Wade Boggs tonight. A little baseball for you guys. Crazy day in the baseball playoffs. Crazy NFL day. It was a great Sunday for sports. But before we get into it, let me introduce the guys per usual. Stash, how you doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. That's a nice Paw Sox hat you got on there.
It's festive.
You have to rep them. It was a big day for the Sox and Rafi. But we'll talk about Rafi later. And then we got the big dog down there in green.
Lots of green.
How you feeling about those Packers?
They're pretty good. This is something I learned today, taking an extra day off from work, is I don't have enough TVs because there were so many sports things going on that I wanted to watch. I just didn't have enough TVs to watch. I had my phone, had baseball on it. My laptop had a game on it. My TV had a game on it. I'm out of screen.
Here's the thing, guys. I got 5 monitors up right here. I got the command center here. All right.
It still wasn't enough.
Listen, Matt just sits in that room like Morgan Freeman in The Dark Knight watching all those cameras.
Just going like this from side to side. Bro, for real, one day I think I might live stream, just like put a camera over here, just looking at me on all 5 monitors, just watching sports all day. Why not? But yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. And I got a laptop too I could add to it. I could use my phone. We could really get into this. But let's open up with Nick's question from last week. And if Nick, you want to refresh the audience who may not be here. Oh, by the way, if you guys aren't here and don't follow us on social media, please give us a follow on all socials. It is at MNMSOS Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channels down in the link. We got over 20 subscribers, which is awesome. Next goal is 30. Maybe once we hit 30, we can do a little giveaway and we'll figure something out, give back to you guys, maybe a little gift card we can mail out, do a little, drawing per se, and, put out a YouTube video, you comment on it, you follow, you proof follow us on all socials and subscribe to us. Maybe we'll do that here soon. So once we get to 30, we'll, get that giveaway together. But please, if you guys don't already, go follow us on all those platforms so you can interact with these great questions that Nick comes up with every week. And you can interact with our gambling podcast, who I don't know if you guys know, I went 4-0 this weekend. Going to put that up, just slip that in before we start this.
Sure did.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And to Nick, to you, sir.
All right. Our question was, if you could take any athlete and put them into any other sport, who would you be? What sport would it be? We got some answers. We'll go from top to bottom. Ken obviously had some input.
Oh, shocker. That's
Frank Thomas. Football.
Yeah, he was saying that he got full ride to Auburn, right?
For football. He did. He got a scholarship to play at Auburn. That would have been. He was a big dude. So.
He didn't say what position he was going to play, right? Could you imagine him playing tight end though?
Either
or like D, or like D end.
It's a big dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mookie Betts, Pro Bowler.
I like that one. That was a cool one. That was a obscure Sports Quarterly.
Yeah. Tim Duncan to swimming. I guess he qualified in the 1992 Olympics. So
yeah, but
they
had a hurricane, so their pool was unable to be used, right? And then he went to basketball.
Yes, we switched to basketball.
Yeah.
Dave Winfield. He was drafted by 4 different teams in 3 different sports.
That's fucking crazy.
So, yeah.
Can you imagine being that athletic?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. We had a Henry comment. Ken Griffey Jr. playing football for wide receiver.
He'd be like, man. I don't know if this might be a throwback, Nick. I don't know if you'll know who he is, but Morgan will. Do you remember Brandon Lloyd Morgan? How he was like kind of like Spider-Man and made those crazy like catches. Yeah. I think Ken Griffey Jr. would have been a little bit better version of that.
Cool to see. Probably.
We did have someone, Eddie, agreed with us. LeBron in football.
Oh, I mean, come on.
That would have just been.
I mean, you guys have to watch his football highlights on what was it, the Monday night game?
Bro, it was gross. It was absolutely gross what he was doing.
Him completely throwing his quarterback under the bus.
Yeah.
But yeah. So lots of answers, lots of good ones.
Yeah, I agree.
I think my favorite is the Mookie Betts to bowling.
I think that's a good one.
He's a really good bowler.
He is. He is. Well, you guys are against each other this week. You know, I had 2 weeks on, and now I got a week off here to do a awesome debate. This one's gonna be really fun. Morgan's got Tony Gwynn. Nick has the man, the myth, the legend, Wade Boggs. And it's more for off the field, so stuff that I say that, which we're gonna get into. For you gentlemen,
too.
Which one of you would like to go first, or should I decide?
I'll go first because you kind of took 3 of the words right out of my mouth.
I apologize.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, Wade Boggs. Honestly, those 3 words are like a perfect summary of him and his career on and off the baseball field. And just an overall awesome dude. But yeah, Hall of Famer, 12-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, 5-time batting title, 8-time Silver Slugger, and the 1996 World Champion, Wade Boggs. The man, the myth, the legend. That's my opening argument.
Short and sweet. I love it.
Well, I mean, there's so many things I could say about Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. 20 years in the Major League Baseball, 2,440 games played, all with the San Diego Padres. Hall of Fame, receiving 97.6% of the votes on his first ballot. He's a 15-time All-Star, a 5-time Gold Glover, 7-time Silver Slugger, and he's an 8-time batting champion. He's the only player ever to win 4 batting titles in 2 different decades.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
He's got some weird stat records kind of like that will kind of surprise everybody.
I was getting into Boggs' career too. I was noticing a lot of weird little records and stats that he was holding on to. These 2 dudes, like looking at both of their stuff to try and like compare them, they're like, it's almost like you don't even want to pick a winner between them because they're both so good.
And I mean, the easiest way to describe them is they're just pure hitters.
Yeah, and I would like to do the first punch across on that note because everybody right now is just taking the words right out of my mouth. So I'm gonna get the first punch across. Speaking of pure hitter, a quote from Tommy John. Do we all know who he is?
Yeah.
Yes. There may be a surgery named after him.
He may be a popular name in the sporting world. Yeah. Tommy John, quote, for pure hitting, Boggs is the best I've ever seen. He's phenomenal, a pure hitting machine. I've never seen anything like him. He lit me up. That's from Tommy John.
It's very good quote.
High
His
praise.
most notable thing is having a surgery named after him.
It's a pretty prominent surgery.
And also a little fun fact about Wade Boggs, since we're on a pitcher for a second, throwing. Wade Boggs pitched an inning.
Oh,
A shutout inning for the New York Yankees in 1997.
Not surprising.
So shades of Shohei Ohtani there, I think.
You're AL MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say pure hitter, but I saw a lot of writers and a lot of beat writers in saying that he was often dubbed the greatest pure hitter since Ted Williams with Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn?
Yeah, Tony Gwynn. And
I mean, it's tough to argue
the
it.
reason for that is the National League batting title is now named after him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Ted Williams, coming second to him, Ted Williams is actually second to Wade Boggs in Fenway's all-time career batting average. Wade Boggs holds the record with a career batting average at Fenway Park of 369. To Ted Williams, second place, 361.
First off, nice.
Nice.
I mean, you can say that, but I mean, if we're gonna go pure on batting average, Tony Gwynn's 338 career batting average is the highest of any player since World War II.
Yes, it is. And Wade Boggs had a
respectable
328.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. It's really good. And plus, I looking at the games and stuff, obviously, I'm not going to take the never batting under 300 in his career away from him. That is true. But Tony Gwynn's last 2 seasons, 36 games played in one, 71 games in another, 229 bats total in his last 2 seasons. So you'd like to think if he actually played full seasons, that batting average would probably dip down a little bit.
Sure. But as it stands, he had 19 consecutive seasons where he hit over 300.
I mean, yeah, can't take that away from him.
19.
That's impressive. I'm not gonna try to take that away from Mr. Padre there.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, you want to compare stats to Wade Boggs? Tony Gwynn only played one more game, and Tony Gwynn has more hits, more triples, more homers, more RBIs, more steals, a higher batting average, and a better slugging percentage.
Damn.
What about his WAR?
Well, he played for the Yankees, so that makes a difference.
And the Red Sox and the Devil Rays.
Yeah, he played for notoriously good teams. Wow. Yeah, and then you want to talk about the Devil Rays and how he was paid to have his plaque in the Hall of Fame have a Tampa Bay Devil Rays hat on it.
There's actually nothing to suggest that it was actually true. Pretty sure it got thrown out. And he's actually the reason now why the Hall of Fame chooses your hat.
It did get thrown out because he did it. He spent 1 season with the Rays and he took the money.
Didn't he take 2?
2. Whatever.
I mean, speaking of the Devil Rays,
first off, secure that bag, King.
He wasn't above taking money for shit. But I mean, speaking of the Devil Rays, dude, why can't he have that hat if that's what he wanted? He's from Tampa Bay.
No.
He hit the first ever home run as a Devil Ray.
But
listen, unequivocally,
when you
Morgan
have
says
an
no.
18-year career and you play 2 seasons with one team, that is not the team you retire with ever in any circumstance.
He hit their first franchise home run.
Oh, okay.
There are 2 seats. There are 2 seats in their field that are yellow because of Wade Boggs. One of them is the franchise's first home run, and the other one is Wade Boggs' 3,000th hit, which is also a home run, and he was the first player to do so before Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, just Morgan's reaction to, oh, okay. That just killed me.
The man's a Ray through and through, Morgan. I don't know what you're talking about. That dude bleeds green, blue, and whatever color that jersey was.
Yeah. You know the man who bleeds one color? It's Tony Gwynn. 20 years with one team is not a feat done by many. I can think of, Kobe Bryant also did that.
Oh, brother. You just lost the argument right there.
Mr. Padre's a shitty nickname.
I disagree with that.
The Chicken Man's way cooler. The Chicken Man's cooler.
God rest his soul.
All I'm debating here is off the field stuff with Wade Boggs, because on the field.
No, you're not. You're
I haven't mentioned anything off the field yet.
Yeah, this has been Morgan. You've been doing a very good job.
Oh, we all know what's coming.
Yeah,
but we're gonna stay on the field for now.
I mean, on the field, Tony Gwynn had 7 seasons with a 350 average or higher. And that's the most of any player since World War II as well. And he had a season where he hit 394, in which he said he was going to be the first player since Ted Williams to hit 400. But he only finished at 394.
So what you're telling me is Tony Gwynn was a liar. Wade Boggs is the only player in history to have 4 consecutive seasons with at least 200 hits and 100 walks, and also 150 singles, 50 extra base hits, and 100 walks twice in 2 seasons. He is the only player to ever achieve that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you want to know what the only thing Tony Gwynn is? He's the only player after 1965 to have more doubles in his career than strikeouts.
Oh my God.
In
what?
In 10,243 plate appearances, Tony Gwynn struck out 434 times. Total.
What's that percentage?
His on-base percentage is way lower than Wade Boggs. His on-base percentage is a 388 to Wade Boggs' 415. Wade Boggs led the MLB.
Ball in play. He didn't take walks and he didn't strike out. He put the ball in play.
He led the league in on-base percentage 6 times. Crazy high on base percentage. And way more base on balls.
Now-
14-12 to Tony Gwynn 790.
Now, my question to Morgan on that one would be, do you think that's because of the lineups Wade Boggs used to bat in?
Oh, for sure. I mean, being on one, he was on the Yankees on a World Series team that was just loaded. The Red Sox teams weren't that bad either back in the 80s when he
He actually made it to the World Series with them.
86?
The Red Sox, yeah.
Billy B, baby.
I mean, Wade Boggs just had a crazy good eye also. I mean, he was pinch hit in the World Series and walked on a bases loaded situation and brought a run home. Pretty crazy.
Could also call him a coward for not getting the bat off his shoulder.
I believe they won that year. To which afterwards, when they won, he rode a fucking horse around the stadium with his finger in the air. Like, come on, dude.
That's a pretty ball.
The dude's just cool. This man hijacked a New York Police Department horse and rode around the field with his finger in the air, celebrating their championship.
That's a pretty baller move, dude.
Come on.
Like,
Imagine that man, dude. Walked to bases loaded, runner home, riding around on a horse, belly full of chicken, rotisserie. That's a good day.
great day. Great day. Morgan, so what's the furthest Mr. Padre ever got in the playoffs?
He went to 2 World Series with the Padres.
Didn't end up picking any of them up. Who'd they lose to?
They lost to Detroit in 84,
Yeah.
and then they lost to the Yankees in 98.
It's tough.
Tony Gwynn hit 500 in the series.
Jesus Christmas.
So I think that also helps me though, because at least we're not talking about a player who's never even been to the World Series. Like, you can't say the Padres are bad. Like, he did go twice and he lost twice. So
Baseball is not one of those sports, though. For me,
I know it's not
personally.
one of those sports, but if we got to go down to brass tacks and talk about championships, you can't leave it out.
No, you can't. It's part of the conversation.
It's got to be a factor.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he lost twice.
Something else I can't also bring up is that he was a all-conference player in college in 2 different sports.
Wade Boggs was an all-state football player
What was
high school,
Gwynn?
college,
in
basketball.
his senior year.
Oh, Mr. Padre just out there dropping dimes to people.
Dropping dimes.
And he is the first player to be drafted in 2 sports in the same day, because he was drafted by the Padres and then the Clippers in the same day.
Wow. Definitely chose right by picking the
I'm
Padres.
just picturing Tony Gwynn later in his life trying to play basketball.
Just doing the reverse Michael Jordan. I'm going to go play basketball. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to push the conversation towards this way. Let's get into off the field stuff.
if that's where we want to go.
It's part of the conversation.
The chicken man is as accomplished off the field as he was on the field. I'd say, if not more so, off the field. It's tough. It's tough to argue Morgan's allegedly drinking 50 to 60 beers on a cross-country flight. And it's not allegedly, because they were players to corroborate the story. And I have some quotes. Jeff Nelson claims that on a West Coast trip, I'd say Boggs downs 50 to 60. This is on a TV show, these quotes. They were on a TV show asking players about it. They called up Paul Sorrento and asked him, how many beers can Wade Boggs drink? Without missing a beat, this dude goes, gotta be 70. On a cross-country flight, Brian Rose, who was a Red Sox and a Rays pitcher who played with Boggs on both teams, said a flight attendant gave Wade Boggs a case of beer, and Wade Boggs put it down under his seat, and he goes, wow, we only have a 4-hour flight. What is that? And Boggs just goes, that's mine. And later on, actually, still off the field, when they filmed the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode, Wade Boggs was there. And Wade Boggs told Charlie Day, no, it wasn't 60 beers. It was, in fact, 107.
Which is not fucking possible.
He said it would take him more than a case and a half of beer to feel the effects of alcohol. The players on his team literally said that at the end of a game, he would start drinking in the locker room. On the way to the bus, he would be drinking. On the bus, he would be drinking. Waiting for the plane, he'd be drinking. On the plane, he'd be drinking. Landing, he'd drink. On the way to the stadium. The dude put him away.
How? I don't get it, Jeff Van Gundy.
The man's just built different.
So you mentioned Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Can you tell the people about, what that entails, like that show and that episode particularly he was in?
Yeah, they go on a cross country flight and they want to beat Wade Boggs' record of 70 beers from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they have a little challenge and see who can drink that many beers.
And the name of that challenge?
The Wade Boggs Challenge, which I am a 2-time champion of, actually.
I'm the biggest loser here for that challenge. Morgan has defeated me as well.
Morgan, you did. You came in second.
I think I did. Yeah.
If my memory serves me right.
Well, that's a lot of off the field accolades there for Mr. Boggs. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
It's an inside joke.
That's why we're doing this debate to honor his memory.
Wade Boggs is very much alive. Morgan, let's talk about Mr. Padre. I know he's got a lot of charitable stuff. He was a good dude off the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his stuff, he never left baseball.
Yeah,
he went back to San Diego State and started coaching up until his death in 2014. He was still a manager of the team.
Yeah,
cancer sucks.
Mouth, right?
Yeah.
That's a message to everybody in here that listens to our podcast. If you dip, get that shit out of your mouth, man. That shit fucking annihilates your jaw.
You're putting out a warning for dipping tobacco, but we just talked about man who drinks 70 beers in a flight.
First of all, hold on. We're talking about charitable for a second, and I'm pretty sure Wade Boggs kept Miller Lite in business.
Unbelievable.
Drink responsibly, kids.
Listen, hey, what do you want from me, Morgan? I'm not perfect.
He wasn't flying those planes.
The fact nobody has a definite number makes me question the whole thing.
He did. He said 107 to Charlie Day.
Which is not possible. It's just not.
In the words of Kevin Garnett, Morgan, anything is possible.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree.
Or should we say anything is possible?
I'm going to respectfully disagree.
Okay. So, yeah, I know Tony Gwynn went to San Diego State. Did he end up coaching his kid there, too? If I remember correctly.
I didn't look up the rosters. I don't think to look up the rosters. The kids.
You didn't come with off of the field preparation. You knew that was his main argument.
I mean, we can switch back to on the field too.
I mean, on the field, it's not even discussed. I
don't think that's true.
It's Tony Gwynn in a landslide, dude.
I don't think that's true.
Bro, the dude
Wade Boggs holds a lot. Wade Boggs holds a lot of records.
It's not true because it's not a landslide. Players with 3,000 hits, only Tris Speaker and Ty Cobb have a higher batting average than him. Tony Gwynn also only struck out 3 times in one game once in his career, compared to the 297 3-hit games he has.
That's crazy.
And then, my love for Greg Maddux. I love Greg Maddux.
I knew this was coming.
In 107 plate appearances versus Greg Maddux, Tony Gwynn hit 415 off him and never struck out.
That's insane.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
And then he's also part of the first trio to lead off with 3 home runs to start a game in history. Marvel Wayne and John Kruk and Tony Gwynn.
John Kruk. What's up, OG? Oh, man. All right. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
I didn't. Yeah.
I was going to ask if you guys had anything else you guys wanted to get into the argument before I make my decision here. Any closing arguments? We're coming down here to the wire. I'm starting to get the verdict in my head which way I'm going to be leaning.
I mean, Wade Boggs just did really cool shit in his career, like cool stories, like the riding the horse around is awesome. I mean, hitting the first home run for an entire franchise is awesome. Being the first person to have your 3,000th hit be a home run is pretty cool. He played in the longest professional baseball game in history with the Paw Sox, 33 inning game. That's pretty crazy. And you know, looking at the stats, it's tough to argue. Tony Gwynn is obviously an incredible baseball player. But there's also just that World Series champion looking me in the eye where Tony Gwynn went twice and didn't win. And I mean, the off the field accolades speak for themselves.
Morgan.
All 107 of them.
Morgan, go ahead.
I mean, Tony Gwynn, he's outside of Barry Bonds, he might be the greatest hitter ever. He's a guy who people just know where he can put the ball.
Now here's a guy.
That's not what Tommy John said.
Okay, well, here's a quote from Tony Gwynn before when they had a rain delay. He's in his buddy Tony here. Tony and I are walking back up the tunnel at Riverfront. He said, "Hey, Flan, I want you to be ready tomorrow because this guy's going to throw me a first pitch slider. I'm going to hit it into left center gap, and it's going to score 2 runs, and the game's going to be tied." Sure enough, as soon as the game started the next day, slider, bottom, left center field, runner score, tie game.
Now, do we think that he may have paid that pitcher off?
Shut up, dude.
Come on. Tony Gwynn is most known for being able to put the ball where he wants on the field. Probably the only guy I've ever heard of people say this guy can literally put the ball anywhere on the field where he wants. He created the 5.5 hole because he hit between third and short so many times they created it.
That was a great point, Morgan, you were about to make.
I can always see the look on Morgan's face when he cuts off.
You know what? It was he had the momentum for swinging the argument too. He was bringing it back, and then just gets cut off.
And then he also has the single season record. He has a single season record for most 5-hit games in a season with 4.
That's insane.
Actually, Wade Boggs has 3 5-hit games, so he's right behind him, and 59 4-hit games in a season. Yeah, right behind him with the hitting there.
I've reached a verdict. And it pains me to do this. I have to go with Mr. Padre. Morgan had a great argument. And Nick, you missed a big, big key to this argument. You didn't even mention Wade Boggs' jersey was retired for the Red Sox.
I didn't think I had to.
You sit there, you talk about his championship with the Yankees, and you gotta, it's a point that you gotta make that, he won a championship with the Yankees and still got his jersey retired by the Red Sox. That being said, this was probably the hardest decision I've had to make, and I want to cry that I didn't pick Wade Boggs. But I'm going with Mr. Padre. Morgan had a great argument, came with a lot of numbers, a lot of specific stats.
You guys are bad people.
And first off, I want to be the first one to apologize to the Chicken Man for not picking him. And may God rest his soul.
R.I.P. Wade.
Let's get into the weekly wrap-up.
Jesus Christ.
Morgan, you knew this was going to be the debate. You just won. Aren't you excited?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just gonna take this L with a grain of salt because last episode I'm pretty sure you guys said you formed an alliance and we're not gonna vote me for wins anymore. So I smell conspiracy, I smell collusion, and I will not take this loss lightly.
I mean, you know what? Fair. Morgan had a great argument though. You did as well, Nick. It was tough. It was tough.
I can smell the lies through my computer screen right now.
That's just the beer you've been drinking.
Moving on to
Morgan
the weekly
with a
wrap
singer.
up. We're headed over to the weekly wrap up, folks. We're going to talk NFL first. We got a huge list of games to wrap up today. Crazy NFL Sunday. But before we get to the games, I got to talk about this man, Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer goes back to Ohio Thursday night, loses to the Bengals by a last-second field goal. This man gets caught out in Columbus, Ohio on a Saturday, absolutely fucking zooted at a bar. Literally hitting on college co-eds, having some college girls grind up on him. Keep in mind, this man is married with children. His wife is on Twitter, liking tweets saying that she deserves better. This man had no regard for anything that day. Went out, shut the phone off, did whatever he wanted to do. He knew he was going to be like taking these photos with people where he just looks fucking gone. Like absolutely gone. He looks like those pictures from The Hangover. Like when they shows like all the photos at the end of the movie, that's what Urban looked like in every photo.
That's awesome.
That being said, I think it's a strategy for him to get fired from Jacksonville.
Go to USC.
Which I'm okay with. So he can go to USC. I don't hate the move. And at this point, you know, I'd rather get somebody in there that's going to be here for the long haul and not fuck up Trevor Lawrence. But I had to touch on Mr. Urban Meyer going out and doing the damn thing. I can't wait. I can't wait for 4 weeks for now when he resigns due to him needing to attend to his family issues and his health conditions because guy doesn't know how to handle himself.
Yeah, unlike Wade Boggs.
Unlike Wade.
That part's over, Morgan. Take your fucking tainted win back.
Tainted.
Nick's sick.
You and the Dodgers just.
And you and your Red Sox win.
All right. Let's talk about how the Atlanta Falcons find another way to lose.
Oh my God.
They're terrible.
Dude,
that franchise is in shambles. They need to just restart everything. Get rid of everything.
They should honestly relocate. I'm not even kidding.
They really need to.
Just relocate.
It's tragic what they're doing to these fans down here.
It is, dude. Matt Ryan, dude. Why would you draft Kyle fucking Pitts when like you could have got one of these quarterbacks? You could have traded up and got like fucking Trey Lance, who for the 49ers looked good today once he came in and got settled in.
Yep.
But like, what the fuck are you doing in Atlanta?
Nothing good.
But on a Washington football team side, is Taylor Heineke good? Because I'm very confused.
He's literally on the perfect team because he's literally the poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is a poor man.
That's the point, Nick.
But like he shows flashes of like,
bro, there was no way that fucking that touchdown to Terry McLaurin should have been a touchdown.
God,
he threw that ball and I was like, that looks like a little league throw.
Yeah, like just high fly ball, and Terry just finds a way to.
Terry McLaurin's one of the best receivers in the NFL.
He's nasty.
He's very, very good. But that game was, dude, that was in shambles.
Did you see the roughing the passer call?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
Did we see McKissick fly in the air?
I saw, because I had the day off, so I actually got to watch football. The refereeing is horrible this year.
That's not great.
It's not good.
Not great.
But yeah, McKissick flying in the air was pretty sick.
That's going to be one for a highlight for them for a long time. Let's get over to the Detroit Lions, who can even make the Chicago Bears look like a competent franchise.
They're so bad.
Not great.
They could play as hard as they want, but they don't have talent almost anywhere.
I mean, Goff isn't even bad.
No, Goff's terrible. Goff sucks.
He didn't throw a pick today.
Yay.
I don't think Goff's that bad.
The fact you have to say he's not that bad.
All right. Anything else you guys want to touch on in that game before?
I mean, no, the Bears are 2-2. The Lions are 0-4. They both still suck.
Fair enough. All right. The Bills absolutely annihilate the Texans. The Texans did not cover, Morgan.
No, the Texans did not cover.
16.5, lose 40-0.
You know, it looked good for maybe a quarter and a half-ish.
No, it didn't.
It was. I mean, I had the Bills on my fantasy team, so whatever. It helped.
Your quarterback there for the Texans threw 4 picks.
I know. It was great. Helped in fantasy.
Yikes. Absolutely yikes.
I think the Bills might be the best team in football.
I respectfully disagree.
I have them taking that division for sure.
We'll get to the best team in football down here in a little bit, I think. How about those Dallas Cowboys?
How about him? How about them Cowboys?
Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
He's playing really, really well.
I can't think of 5 guys fully ahead of him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like he's making throws that he hasn't ever made before, and like he looks way more comfortable back there. I think honestly, him getting hurt last year, being able to watch film and just learn the game more, he's starting to put it all together, and he's looking really good. And plus, that defense is revamped, and Diggs out there at corner is an absolute stud.
Diggs came out of nowhere.
Yeah, are they actually good?
Yeah, like it's like one of those things with the Cowboys. It's like, are they actually good,
or is
like,
it just a joke?
Is this going to be a cruel joke?
Yeah,
it will be because Mike McCarthy's their coach, and he normally closes out the job.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he's great. But I mean, are we going to say the Panthers are probably pretenders?
Probably.
Or are they going to struggle without CMC? We think.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we can talk about another team struggling without CMC.
Yeah.
How's that fantasy team looking, Nick?
it sucks. Back to you, Bob.
Moving on. Kansas City absolutely annihilates the Eagles, but that defense is still shitty. I know
They
Morgan.
don't look good.
Morgan says there's some major problems with KC. I think you're thinking defensively. I'm assuming, right?
Sort of.
Okay.
I think the offensive line is not good.
Okay.
I think Mahomes is under duress a lot.
Did have a cool underhand throw today, though.
He did have that, but I think the defense isn't very good, and I think his offensive line isn't good. And when it comes to playoff football, you're going to go against these tough defenses that are going to get pressure, and you saw how the Super Bowl worked. I think it's going to be a major problem.
Interesting take.
Yeah, I think I had texted you guys and I was watching it and I was just like, they don't look terrific. Like,
I think their offensive line, it's all new from last year. It's 5 guys. Probably didn't get that much work in the preseason together. I think once they get like a month and a half into 2 months, they'll start to solidify up because they got a lot of high profile guys on that offensive line from this past offseason. I think they'll be fine offensively. That being said, you kind of found the formula to stop them. You double Tyreek Hill, you don't give up the big play, and you let Kelsey eat.
That didn't work today. Tyreek still
didn't work today. I'm glad I didn't go against him in fantasy today.
I did not either.
But I will say one thing very quickly. Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I know you way too well.
Morgan called it before me. The second Josh Gordon signed with the Chiefs, I was like, well, I'll just stash him on my fantasy team. That's fine. I still go back to, what was it, 2012?
Tried to fight it.
I did. I literally sat at work looking at it for like 3 minutes being like, do I actually do this? And I was like, you want to know what? Fucking put in the waiver claim in on him. Need him. Want him. Need him. But I think, honestly, if he comes back and is able to stay on the football field and stay off the weed, I think he'll actually be a big help to them because they need that second receiver option because Tyreek can't do it all. Mecole Hardman, they aren't, that solid number 3 option for Mr. Mahomes.
Yeah.
But that defense, it's just awful. It's not good. I can tell where me and Morgan are looking at the Pats-Bucks game right now.
So just started, right?
I would never.
Never. Morgan made this call before this game went final in our weekly wrap-up because Morgan's now the one that takes care of it. And I want to say you're wrong, and I believe in them. The New York Giants go down to New Orleans and come back from a 21-10 deficit to beat the Saints. Shaquan's starting to look like Shaquan again. Some big plays. Daniel Jones making big plays. That defense is pretty solid. They play hard. I still think they got a decent shot. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to be this good, but maybe a wild card for the Giants. But that's what Giants fans want. You just sneak in the playoffs and then anything can happen.
I mean, the wide receivers to the Giants made some great plays for Daniel today.
Dude, Galladay is nasty.
Well, I knew he was nasty. I watched him in Detroit. Him and Stafford just would torch Green Bay at least once. But
I mean, not like the Lions would still win that game, but
no, we didn't even lead for a second last year. We beat them twice.
That's crazy. That's insane.
It's embarrassing.
to walk
But-
off field.
Yeah.
I still feel like the Saints, like they have a good week, then they have a bad week. I don't think they have a full identity yet. And there's going to be a tape, and I think it's because Taysom Hill is still on that team. I think they're always trying to run too many gadget plays with him, and it's just like,
Did you see his touchdown run today?
what,
He
dude?
ran
What?
over-
Oh
broke
my,
like 6 tackles.
cool, dude.
Marshawn style.
Don't you ever compare Taysom Hill to Marshawn Lynch again? Don't you ever do that again, because that is what will make me walk away from this podcast. I will be putting on. That will be the last time I put on the headset.
You don't even have a headset on.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know that, Morgan.
I think Jameis is the quarterbacking version of Jason Garrett. He's just destined for 8-8.
Well, can't go 8-8 anymore.
Oh, he'll find a way. 8-8-1.
Fair. Speaking of 8-8-1, there was almost a tie today.
Almost.
Let's talk about the Tennessee Jets game, which made Morgan the happiest little boy on the planet.
I was gonna say, I know Morgan was watching that game.
Would you like to talk about that game,
No.
Morgan?
pass.
Well, I will say this: Zach Wilson did look pretty good. Made some big time throws, trying to start to come into his own. He's a playmaker, a little gunslinger. You can definitely tell he watched a lot of Aaron Rodgers growing up. I'll say that much. Because he makes a lot of like off, different platform throws, a lot of, outside the pocket, moving, telling guys where to go. He had an impressive performance today. And I know Morgan had to watch an entire overtime quarter, missed the first quarter of the Packers game. So he was fucking rip shit, but still looked good. And then the kicker for the Titans, lo and behold, Tennessee's had kicking problems for years, misses the kick. So,
Whoops.
I had notes on the game, and then I had to sit through that painful overtime where I didn't get to watch Green Bay for the first quarter. And I wish both teams lose every game for the rest of the season.
would you like to move on?
Sure.
You don't own a package where you can just watch Green Bay instead.
Your dad owns Sunday Ticket. You're acting like you can't get the login info from him.
I wanted to listen to Romo.
Ken, can you make sure you get Morgan the Sunday Ticket info so I never run into this issue again with him complaining in the text message with
You
me and
guys
Nick?
were loving it in the text.
Yeah, it was great.
Every time Morgan's upset, I got to admit it puts a smile on my face. So.
Same.
They love to torment me.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite, pastime.
America's pastime.
Well, we got another AFC South versus AFC East matchup. The Colts get their first win over Miami. Miami's struggling. It's gonna be a bad take, and it's probably gonna come back in my face. But they need to trade for that nasty man, Deshaun Watson, and just play him. It's just what they got to do, because that team is literally a quarterback away, and I don't think Tua is it. And Jacoby Brisket is definitely not it.
I don't know if they're a quarterback away, but
I think with Deshaun Watson, that's you're fighting for the AFC East.
no.
I feel like you're forgetting how good Deshaun Watson is.
I know how good he is, but they're not in the same realm with the Bills. They're just not.
I said fighting for it. I didn't say that they were going to be there winning it. I said fighting for it.
I mean, if you call 3 games back fighting for it, sure.
They wouldn't be 3 games back if he started the team. No, Buffalo's going to roll off the tracks like they always do.
No,
They're the fucking
You're
Bills.
You're hoping they do because you now think you have a bad take with Buffalo not winning that division.
I don't care. Because guess what? Buffalo's not going to do anything in the fucking playoffs anyways. They're
Buffalo,
destined to lose.
Cleveland, AFC Championship.
That was a great segue. Let's get over to Cleveland. Baker Mayfield fucking missing Odell Beckham Jr. late for that touchdown. Fucking drove me irate with Odell Beckham on my fantasy team. He was wide open. Just throw the ball down the field to him. Just like, and not behind him, not on a line. Just lob it down there. He's wide open. That being said,
Good today, Matt.
they were in a fucking dome.
Exactly. It's dry.
That being said, Myles Garrett may be the
It's
scariest
dry.
person I've seen on a football field.
Yeah, he's
Bro,
definitely.
I
not
think it was
something
like
to run.
it was
You
8
know.
plays in a row where like he literally got pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make him angry and have him.
And I
sit
was
down.
like, holy sh. I was like sitting, I was like, this man is literally pushing like a 6'7", 300-pound man back into the quarterback with like ease. Easily. It was disgusting, but Cleveland's showing how they can win, gross games, and
they win gritty games.
I can't wait for Baker Mayfield to get $200 million and for that team to just go right back down the toilet again.
I mean, he's still the best quarterback they've had in the last 15, 20 years.
That's sad.
I mean, he's not terrible.
I like Baker.
They should trade for that nasty man, Deshaun Watson. Then they're winning the Super Bowl.
So should Denver. You want to keep going down the list of teams that should trade for him?
Yeah.
This is going to be the Red Sox getting all those players all over again.
I said they should trade for him, not that they're going to. There's a difference. And I'm very upset that we don't have a GM anymore that'll go out and do what I say. Very upset. But let's get into the afternoon games. Morgan, your beloved Packers, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they looked pretty good today. I was for the 3 quarters I got to watch them, very happy with it. Kevin King was out once again, so our defense looked pretty good.
Stokes is good.
I like Stokes a lot. He's very good. He had his first pick today, so that was cool.
Yep.
Jair
broke his wrist.
I think it's a shoulder. They said shoulder.
Did they?
On the report. Yeah. So that concerns me a lot because he's our best defensive player. But
Kenny Clark's a beast in the middle.
Kenny Clark's a solid. Campbell holding that hole strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the offense with you just can't guard Devontae. AJ Dillon, I love the running game now with just them pounding AJ Dillon and then using Aaron Jones out of the backfield for catching it.
AJ Dillon's thighs is the size of my fucking waist. It's absurd.
And then
Quadzilla.
Aaron Rodgers wanted Randall Cobb back.
Yeah.
He had 5 third down conversions to Randall Cobb today and 2 touchdowns to Randall Cobb.
Randall looked good. Let me just read your quote here. Cobb still good at football. Can confirm.
Aaron Rodgers, man, he was getting frustrated out there a few times. I saw him.
I'm glad because this little happy, smiling Aaron Rodgers, I'm not a fan. I like him a little prickly.
Dude, I liked it when he was trying to get the one on friggin' Tomlin, and he started smiling at him, smirking, and then Tomlin smirked back. I love it.
I don't think I like it.
I think Aaron and Tomlin just had a moment where if Aaron does leave this offseason with Big Ben on his way out, maybe goes.
Why would he do that?
Why wouldn't he do that?
I mean, unless Devontae's going with him, then maybe. But
it's possible.
If he's not, that's the same damn roster he has right now, with just a better defense.
Okay, with a better defense and the same roster he has now, he's probably winning a Super Bowl. So, and Najee Harris is an absolute beast out of the backfield. Not saying Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon aren't. I like them both, but similar rosters. You are right, but I just think, if I'm Rodgers at this point, I'm just not fucking leaving Devontae Adams because that dude is literally the best receiver in the NFL.
I'd say I feel good about them going to the Super Bowl, but it's Green Bay, and I'm just not going there yet.
Fair. Let's talk about a blowout of a late game. Cardinals-Rams.
Letdown game.
Big letdown game after beating Tampa Bay last week. And
Kyler Murray's kind of good at football.
Kyler Murray is better than Michael Vick is at football ever. I was watching him today, and the shit he was doing he's literally just a more accurate version of Michael Vick, because the way he was making people miss was absolutely disgusting.
He might be shiftier than Vick too.
Oh, I'm not going to go that far.
I'm not saying faster. I think shiftier.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I don't think he's shiftier than Vick. I think
he just said better than Vick, period, in all aspects.
I did not say in all aspects. He's not shiftier than Vick, but as a quarterback, he's better than Michael Vick. He's such an accurate thrower of the football. It is ridiculous.
Patriots with a turnover.
Dude, come on, man. We're sitting here trying to focus on this conversation. It's not like I'm looking over here. God. That's my eyes are like this when I see the ball pop out.
I need you focused.
Yeah, I need to turn my laptop so I can look at the game while I'm still looking at the camera.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the Rams letdown game bound to happen. I think they'll be fine.
I mean, Arizona does look really good though.
They do. We'll see.
Frauds.
Frauds.
Ooh.
Why do you say that, Stash?
I think they are. They're the Cardinals. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Prove it to me, type deal.
I know another Cardinals team that's frauds too.
Well, can we just wait on the baseball? We literally got 2 more games left.
Sure.
Thank you.
Just saying.
Seahawks Niners. Trey Lance comes in, plays well, end up still losing. Russell Wilson has this like pull a fucking rabbit out of a hat act like once a game. And what he did was fucking ridiculous for that touchdown pass, spinning out of it and throwing that.
That was bananas.
I mean, I've got one thing to say to Frisco. It's about damn time.
It's about Lance time. That's what.
Yeah. I mean, and then I saw the touchdown to Debo, and I'm like, how? There's nobody within 30 yards of this man.
Crazy. And he's like their best receiver. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, Seattle's defense is horrible.
Also, I will say, though, they had one of the worst play calls of all time on a 4th and 2. They run a fucking jet sweep. Are you kidding me?
It's Kyle Shanahan trying to outsmart everybody.
Kyle Shanahan is literally the definition of the best, worst coach of all time. That dude has literally been on the side of blowing the biggest fucking leads in the Super Bowl, 28-3, and then the other one against the Chiefs when he was head coach of the 49ers. All that dude knows how to do is fucking blow leads.
Probably blows other things too.
Just gonna let that one breathe for a second. We got the Ravens Broncos finishing out the afternoon games. Broncos are frauds. Ravens still a tough, team. Lamar was under a lot of duress today. The Broncos defense is really good, but just the lack of good quarterback play is it's a struggle. They're not gonna, at the end of the day, they're not competing in that AFC West with Teddy Bridgewater as their starting quarterback, considering they have Mahomes, Herbert, and David Carr in that division. It's just not going to happen.
So did you notice that the Cincinnati Bengals are technically leading the AFC North?
Yes. The Bengals are good. Joe Burrow is good.
Joe Burrow is good. I agree.
I do like Joe Burrow.
I just don't know about the team yet. I don't think they're there.
We're not completely sold.
They haven't really beat anybody.
They beat the daunted Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay.
Never mind what we said. They're going to the Super Bowl.
Bro, that team fucking stinks.
I think
they're so bad.
Team of frauds. So
it is awful, dude. It is awful being a Jaguars fan right now. Urban Meyer, dude, just go to fucking USC, dude. I do not give a shit. Just fucking leave.
Why do you even like them?
I made a bad bet. What it was is Morgan wouldn't let me become a Packers fan. That's what it was. Because I would have.
Didn't let him become a Packers fan? What are you, the fucking guy who gets to decide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what your partial ownership grants you?
I'm pretty sure my certificate, I can look it up. It's there in the owner's manual.
He's got documentation.
Let's talk about the Sunday night game that's currently going in the first quarter right now. Brady makes his return to Foxborough. It's 0-0 with 9:27 left in the first. How do we think this one's playing out tonight, guys?
I think the Bucks are gonna fucking run them.
I think the Patriots are gonna win like 13-10 in a gross game.
Really?
It's raining. It's not good weather. I think it's gonna be a gross game.
Yeah,
Mac Jones looked so bad against the Saints that I just can't.
I wouldn't say it was Mac Jones. I would say it was the tight end play. They were fucking awful.
I mean, I just think it was a poorly played game on their part as a whole.
Yeah, I think both of these teams last week were both looking forward to this week with the the Bucks losing to the Rams and then the Patriots getting absolutely mollywopped by Jameis Winston. Ugh.
Plus, I think Brady takes over the yards record tonight or touchdowns.
No, yards from Drew Brees, who is currently in attendance.
We didn't touch on that in the Pittsburgh game, but Dan Marino got passed on a couple fronts today.
Aaron Rodgers got sixth.
Roethlisberger passed him in yards. Rodgers tied him in touchdowns. Rodgers, I didn't bring it up, but he also had his 420th touchdown pass in 201 games.
Please.
It took Marino 241 and took Favre almost 260 to get to 420.
I've long said Rodgers is a superior quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, I've long said it.
Yeah. So
That being said, let's get into you two gentlemen's favorite topic, MLB. The wild card race came to an end today. The Boston Red Sox will be hosting the New York Yankees in Fenway Tuesday night.
Wild card game, our place. Be there.
I can't wait for the Yankees to absolutely fucking break our hearts
Yeah,
and stand
they're gonna
hit
do.
one
The Red
minimum.
Sox are gonna lose in glorious fashion.
Oh, so bad, dude. Stan's
I think
gonna
it's-
hit another one 400 feet.
I think it's Garrett
plus.
Cole going against Evaldi,
yeah,
Ugh.
and for Pete's sake, guys, Garrett Cole's gonna take him to the cleaners.
Yeah, you're a $340 million bust, Garrett Cole.
He is a boss, dude.
That-
He was in the front running for the Cy Young. In his last few games, he's been absolute dog shit, so he's not gonna win it.
he's been preparing for this game.
Yeah, this is what they signed him for. If he wins this game, it's all good.
I mean, yeah, if he wins this game, when he wins this game, he will have earned his paycheck.
So you're taking the Yankees?
Yeah, I think the Yankees are gonna win. The
Okay.
Red Sox are just not a structurally stable team, and their bullpen is fucking horrible. So even if at any point in this game the Yankees somehow manage to gain the lead on the Yankees, they will blow it within 2 innings.
Morgan, your take?
My take.
That's the question.
My take.
So we can say anything at any times.
I think the Red Sox are going to win.
I agree.
I'm believe me, I'm rooting for the Yankees, but I think the Red Sox are going to win.
Why would you root for the Yankees?
Because
Because they have your precious Cubs members on there.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about this man, Rafi Two Scoops, coming up big today, though. Let's not
Yeah.
let that be, forgotten with this wild card matchup. Rafi with
He
a
did.
big bomb to center field.
Big piss missile,
Yeah, it was an absolute rocket off the bat.
hog shot, just got out of there. Also, JD Martinez, I think, left the game with an injury.
Yeah, sprained his ankle.
That does not bode well for
Nope.
the wild card game.
Not great, Bob.
Not great at all.
You can put Schwarber out there. You'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. But
I'm
the ma-
so not sold on him still being on that team.
You want to know what? The second you get sold on that team, maybe the Red Sox will actually make some fucking noise. All right, so figure it out.
No, he'll just when the Red Sox lose, he'll switch back to his Yankees hat and go back to being a Yankees fan for the rest of the playoffs.
That is not even close to true.
Wow, called out. Boom, roasted. We got the AL playoff matchups. We got the Rays. Excuse me, get the winner of this wild card game. So it'll be on all AL East, and then we got the Astros versus the White Sox.
Just leave the baseball talk to Nick and I. You should just stick to football.
Whatever.
Who's the other? You got the White Sox versus Houston.
Yep. Is Houston still good?
Yeah.
They're just quiet because
Okay.
everybody's talking about the wild card race.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
So,
Then the NLs are all sealed up too. So
it is wild card game. We got Dodgers versus Cardinals. Dodgers winning that.
Dodgers are gonna win that.
Yes.
Okay. So then we will have the Giants versus the Dodgers, and then the other one we will have is the Brewers versus.
The Braves.
Thank you,
ATL.
the Braves. So Brewers probably advancing.
Yeah.
And Giants Dodgers. Who you guys got in that series?
Dodgers.
The Giants are the best team in baseball right now. So I'm gonna say it's tough
Dodgers.
because Max Scherzer. Yeah, I mean I'm gonna say the Dodgers.
Well, I mean, I feel like anytime Scherzer steps on the mound, it's an automatic win for them.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my exact same outcome. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Rays versus Houston, and we're gonna get the Dodgers versus the Brewers. Then the Brewers are gonna beat the Dodgers, and Houston is gonna beat the Rays. We're gonna have the Brewers and the Rays. I mean, in Houston in the World Series, like I said.
Fair enough. I'm very much regretting not starting Mike Evans for fantasy football.
I need you focused.
I'm here. So that's it for the baseball talk we got, and then we're gonna get to the one
You want
NBA.
my nifty little Cubs stat that I had.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Morgan.
Figured you guys were gonna chuckle at. So the Cubs set an MLB record today. They won their last game, so they're gonna be one of a few teams that only won their last game they played. So that's
And you know what? It's all about winning the last game of the season. So
exactly. But they set an MLB record today by starting the most players in a season with 69.
nice.
Nice.
Oh, also, I was this fucking close to calling Shohei Ohtani's home run count.
You were one
Missed it
off,
by
right?
one. I missed it by one. I said 47. He started today's game by hitting number 46.
Yeah.
So close.
It's close,
Yeah.
but hey.
Salvi and Vlad tied for 48.
Damn. So no triple crown for Vladdy, so
No triple
Shohei's
crown.
literally getting 99%
It's
of the vote.
it's a runaway MVP vote, just like we all thought.
Just like we'd said.
No. Like I said, but you guys had the fucking balls to come on this podcast and be like, well, what happens if Vladdy Jr. wins the triple crown and gets a playoff spot? Well, guess what? I told you that's not going to fucking happen, and that didn't happen.
We also literally said if he does those things, if he did that, Ohtani runaway.
Not even a chance. Not even.
Like I said, we all agreed.
Yeah, all three in unison.
Eat shit. The NBA, the big topic going around, the vaccine. Certain cities aren't letting players, go into certain buildings if you're not vaccinated. So we got this dilemma in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving, who is very much against the vaccine. And his aunt called Dr. Fauci, Dr. Falsey, in an interview.
Sing!
And he essentially has not confirmed whether he is getting the vaccine or not.
He's going to get it.
He is definitely not going to get it.
He's definitely not going to play.
Then he's not going to play then.
I don't think he cares about playing.
Does he get his money?
No.
He's going to get it.
No,
Or he's going to retire.
Well, so here's the thing. He's hypothetically going to be able to play 41 away games. Not going to be able to play in San Fran because they have the vaccine there. And I'm sure LA is going to have an ordinance here soon where they're going to require a vaccine for you to go into places. So that's
okay, but as that coach though, do you not just be like, no, dude, you don't play those games either. Like, fuck you.
I mean,
you're going to be that detrimental to your team's long run, and you're going to be like, yeah, we'll let you play in fucking Boston. Like, no.
Well, hey, let's talk about somebody who does think it's detrimental to your teammates, and that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basically called people idiots for not getting the vaccine, and like narcissists and just uninformed motherfuckers. And it's like, dude, like this is like what is required of you to do this. Like it's your
private
job.
Organization. You can make their rules. And it's your right to decline. But it's also their right to tell you to go hit the fucking bricks. Like,
yeah, and they're not doing COVID pay for NBA players. I'll tell you that much. Now, and like that's the thing too, is like Kyrie doesn't need the money. He's got Nike money. He's fine.
Yeah.
But like this dude is like wildly irresponsible. Like he does a lot of like great stuff like off the court, like does a lot of work with like Native Americans, going to the their areas, like bought George Floyd's house or George Floyd's family a house. There's a lot of good stuff like that, but it's also like, bro, you go to these reservations that like Native Americans have a very long history in this country of fucking getting diseases and dying, and you're going there unvaxxed. You want to know what population has the most, like that's not white, is the most vaccinated, is Native Americans. And it's like you're putting these people's like lives in danger because you're too much of a fucking dickhead to get a shot. And you think like your data is getting uploaded to some cloud. Guess what, dude? You own an iPhone.
Is that his actual reason for not getting it?
It's part of it.
Has he came forward and said that that's the reason?
It's insinuated.
That's so ridiculous. I mean, I get like the history with vaccines in this country. I can understand why Kyrie Irving may be against it. But yeah, I mean, as far as the job goes and stuff like that, like you're not doing anybody any favors. You're certainly not doing yourself any favors.
Correct.
I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, that's obviously going to be a decision that he needs to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's make it quick. Like,
yeah. Speaking of a player that needed to make that decision quick, we'll talk about Andrew Wiggins, who plays for the Morgan's Golden State Warriors and wasn't vaccinated. And the story came out today that he is now vaccinated because they told him, get the fucking line or you're not getting paid $16 million because you're only getting half your salary. And he made the decision to get it.
Money talks.
And it's one of those things, man. It's just, it's really weird too, because how progressive the NBA is with everything is just like how like they're lagging behind the majority of sports, like with like the vaccine rate.
I don't think that's true.
It's 100% true, actually.
Aren't 95% of the players vaccinated?
95% of the players are vaccinated. Baseball is the lowest with 90%. Football is 98. WNBA is 99, and hockey is also 98, I believe. So they are the second lowest out of the major sports in this country.
I mean, 95 is still pretty good.
It's pretty
high.
That's pretty
higher than my work.
It's pretty high, but like still, like your job, you're not traveling across the country going to different cities and interacting with as many people. You're not putting, hypothetically, if you really want to do like the math on it, you're not putting millions of people in danger technically. They are, like, and whichever way you feel about it, it's just the reality of it.
It's such a fucking just like bummer of a fucking topic. Like, I'm so sick of it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like the people like Kyrie Irving are the reason like we still are in this fucking hellhole of a fucking pandemic.
I mean, obviously you don't want to take the route and tell people like, hey, just fucking blindly follow what everybody else is doing and just do it, whatever. That's obviously not the right take either.
Yeah.
But it's just like, fuck, man. Can we just we just get over this shit?
But like, hey, when you want your car fixed, where do you go? To a mechanic, because they know more than you. When you you need surgery on a ligament, where do you go? You go to like an orthopedic surgeon because they know more than you. Dude, going on YouTube to do your research is not people that know more than you. You do not know more than doctors that are like fucking studied their entire life for you to spit in their face and say the vaccine doesn't fucking like help or affect anything. It's stupid.
It's kind of a slap in somebody's face to be like, hey, you're 10 plus years of schooling.
10 plus, try like
this.
30 years plus. Like,
yeah,
your life's work is incorrect. You're incorrect.
Because Joe Rogan said it's wrong.
It's fucking crazy. Anyways, Nick, what's your question?
Oh damn, we're just jumping right to it, huh?
Let's get it. That's it. No more topics. No more weekly wrap up. Unless you guys got anything. I mean, Morgan, look at him. He's distracted down there. Can't even pay attention.
No obscure sports quarterly.
Shit.
He is all set.
Morgan just goes, I'm good.
Who's winning?
3-0.
This is why Matt and I said stay away from this game.
Yep.
Yeah, I had some trouble coming up with a question this week, but I have one anyway. And it's not a like, usually we're asking like, what's the greatest one of this or what's the greatest one of this? This is just going to be a personal preference. So we just want to see I just want to see what answers people comes up with. If you have read any, I want to know who is your favorite sports biography. If you've read any.
I would say Allen Iverson's.
Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it.
I recently just read Ted Williams' The Kid,
and
it was great. So, yeah, let us know some cool sports biographies. Or, well, you know what? We'll encompass it. Biographies or documentaries?
Documentaries, Aaron Hernandez's. Yeah, it was good. Like, what do you mean?
So that's the question.
I like it. I mean, obviously, let's just talk about The Last Dance real quick.
I mean, it's probably the best.
It is probably
documentary of all time.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Also, Morgan, speaking of, did you watch Malice in Palace yet? Come on,
bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do we have to give you homework?
I don't do homework. I didn't in high school either. So
what do you call preparing for these debates?
Research.
We're gonna get you some research projects going. Research project number 1: Malice in the Palace.
You have a final coming up, and it's on the Malice in the Palace.
If you don't, if you don't think we're gonna ask you questions until you watch it every week at the end, just watch it.
I got better shit to do.
Like what? No.
Literally,
No. Let's talk about the better shit that Morgan has to do than watching a documentary that Nick and I have both been wanting to discuss on here.
you can discuss it. I don't care.
No, we do things as a team here.
I can bullshit my way around it. I'm a pretty good bullshitter.
I'm going to ask questions just like in school that you will have to have seen it to know the answer.
Okay.
You can't do none of this. Watch the Lord of the Rings movie and take a test on the book.
It's true.
Works though.
Morgan's like graduated, so I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
The boy who lived.
God. Get back to where we were on stream the other night.
Oh, bro. Not me.
I
got
yeah,
nothing
but
else.
I'm gonna watch this game. I still think that you guys have formed an alliance, and that's gonna come back to bite you guys.
You had a good argument, man. What do you want from me? You can't win them all.
Mine was
Close.
just better.
See, now I'm upset with my pick because I knew it, like once I made the decision to go with Morgan when he was making his argument, I was like, he's just going to be a dickhead about it.
You're
wanna
giving
what,
this
Nick?
dude too much power.
You want to what, Nick? I'd like to form an alliance with you.
I don't want to form an alliance with either of you, corrupt sons of bitches.
Collusion. All right, I got nothing else. You guys got anything? Let's get the folks get out of here. We're just bullshitting at this point. All right, go Pack, go.